Okay, we should be set. We'll see if it updates. Good, we're on. We're live. All right, so I'm doing this video. It's been on my radar for a long time. I've been waiting for this moment. Hi, I'm Ebon from Columbus. Subscribe or don't. This topic is about Richie from Boston, but I digress. I used to listen to the guy. I watched him for a couple of months. It was intriguing. I mean, most of the time he was driving around, but I guess a lot of his older videos, he was actually doing a lot of actual on the screen research and stuff like that. And then he made a video, and let's start going down to the browser. He made a video, and just so you know, I mean, okay, he had 299,955 subscribers when I last looked, and I'm doing a refresh. He's now over 300,492 subscribers. I mean, within half a day, he's got more subscribers than I've had since I've joined YouTube. Just peculiar. I mean, I don't know, what is it that lately that people subscribe? Was it the blue beams caught on film? Let me go ahead and zoom in. Alien invasion. Oh, there's an alien invasion prepping the public. But if you watch that, it's only 4 minutes 39 cents. Not cents, 39 seconds long. Not really much to watch. It's like, okay. So I would think if there was an alien invasion 2018, and this is the only reason we're having this with this excuse me while I keep scrolling down, and this is live so you can actually see it. Goes through. Now I think it was more meant of a sarcasm. It's not really an alien invasion. He should probably put it in quotes because he doesn't believe in aliens. He's pretty Christian. Everything's pretty much by the book through the Bible. And you know what? So he's saying it's basically Project Bluebeam is what he's pretty much referring to. And this video that he did, I just wanted to show people. Come on, where is it? Here you go. 9 months ago, 20 minutes and 49 seconds long. It's NW Productions present Alien Invasion in. You can't see it because YouTube cuts it off. I did a video about it. You can see it here on Topic with Ebon. Richie from Boston. Stop with false predictions. This is on March 13, 2018. And then here's the actual thing. NWO Productions present Alien Invasion in 2018. Thumbs down. I thumbs down that. Not a lot of people will thumbs that down. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the entire video so you can watch it for yourself until he takes it down so you can put up one for 2019, since obviously unless the next 2 days there's an alien invasion, Project Bluebeam occurring, and there were blue beams in New York City, but at least that's what they're saying. But that's not an alien invasion. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. March 13th, 2018. There you go. I will mute myself and I will disappear, and you will see the 20 minutes and 48 second presentation of the alien invasion coming 2018. That didn't happen, or is yet to happen. There's 2 days left. Okay, here we go.
What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 13th of March, 2018. If you guys were following me last night on the backup channel, we got about 6 minutes into the live stream where Josh Reeves and myself were talking about electronic harassment. And Josh, located in Texas, fell out of the hangout. He lost connection. And while I was trying to resend it to him, I lost internet. Is that a conspiracy? I have no idea. We're having a blizzard right now, so the weather was bad. Maybe we lost connection, but I don't know. Excuse me. At any rate, what you're looking at is a video I put up back in May of 2016, and it was talking about the White House .gov document, and they were talking about aliens, UFOs, so forth and so on. What you're looking at here is a video that I put up back in October of 2016, where it was the Clinton Foundation leaked documents about a planned alien invasion, complete with Clinton's Baphomet-riddled insignia and the Benison Strategy Group, so forth and so on. And what you're looking at here is a video that I put up in August of 2017, and it was talking about how NASA needs help defending against aliens. You seeing a common theme? These are all from official outlets. Do you see what I'm saying? The White House, the Clinton Foundation, NASA. And what you're looking at here is a video that I put up at the end of 2017, where once again the Pentagon finally admits aliens. And they talk about Roswell, they talk about this, and they talk about that. But are you catching on to the theme going on? Do you see the direction that the government and that the powers that be are pushing the citizens? Well, it's an old story. It's been around for a long time. Bill Cooper warned us about this. Now, Bill Cooper, a lot of people say a lot of stupid things and they make videos about it, and a lot of people listen to the videos and think it's true. Bill Cooper was killed for his beliefs. Bill Cooper told us about Osama bin Laden and the things that would follow. Do you see what I mean? And for that, Bill Cooper lost his life. So there's that. But listen to this and check out this document. All links to the Iron Mountain report, to the Japanese documentation, will be in the description. So check this out. And if my channel happens to go down for any reason, here's some alternative places you can find me, because my website is almost done. You can find me on BitChute, and I will leave a link in the description. As you can see, I just posted a video this morning where Mike Decker literally forced deputies to take down a report about geoengineering. Now, pay attention, because geoengineering plays into all of this. And like 541 people have already discovered, you can find me on Patreon, where I use Patreon as like Facebook, because there's no trolls, and as of yet, there's no censorship. So again, links will be in the description. Now, back to the aliens. Here's Bill Cooper explaining that all the way back to 1917, they were discussing a staged alien invasion. So think about that. Horse and buggies, cars were just invented, so forth and so on. These guys are already looking this far ahead to the future. It's no way that it's just mere mortals. These people are demonically inspired, or they're dealing with fallen angels, because fallen angels, man only thinks in time blocks of, 60, 75 years. Fallen angels think in ions. They think in eternity. They've been thinking about this since 1917. Listen to Mr. Cooper.
First thing I did was collect every bit of documentation that I could find, both from the Freedom of Information Act, from the research of others, from books that had been printed on the subject of UFOs, and of course through my network of friends in the intelligence community. What I discovered was amazing. What I discovered, ladies and gentlemen, is that there has been a plan in existence since about 1917, and probably before that, to create an artificial extraterrestrial threat to this Earth in order to create a one-world totalitarian socialist government. One of the first documents that I found in my search was this one. The Imperial Japanese Mission 1917, a record of the reception throughout the United States of the special mission headed by Viscount Ishii. And when the Imperial Japanese Mission was in New York City, They had a dinner, and some pretty famous people spoke at this dinner. One of them was John Dewey. John Dewey is the father of our failing, disastrous public education system. Here's what he said. Listen very carefully. John Dewey, professor of philosophy in Columbia University, who was the next speaker, was listened to with great intentness. He said, quote, "Someone remarked that the best way to unite all the nations on this globe would be an attack from some other planet. In the face of such an alien enemy, people would respond with a sense of their unity of interest and purpose." Unquote. Now, bear in mind, folks, that's 1917. One of the next documents that I found, and I found quite a few, but one that's pretty important is called the Report from Iron Mountain. The probability and desirability of permanent peace. The probability and desirability of permanent peace. Now, I encourage you to find this book wherever.
Links will be in the description. If you were smart, you would download this and print this up. Have a hard copy. Because when all of this comes to fruition, and according to the news today, this is coming really soon. It explains so many things, and I'm going to go through all of them in this video. This video is not short. This video is a lot of research combined into however long this video goes. So there's that.
You can find it. I don't know where you can get it, but find it. Page 66. Credibility, in fact, lies at the heart of the problem of developing a political substitute for war. This is where the space race proposals, in many ways so well suited as economic substitutes for war, fall short. The most ambitious and unrealistic space project cannot of itself generate a believable external menace. It has been hotly argued that such a menace would offer the last best hope of peace, etc., by uniting mankind against the danger of destruction by creatures from other planets or from outer space. Experiments have been proposed to test the credibility of an out-of-our-world invasion threat. And it continues on another page. Nevertheless, an effective political substitute for war would require alternate enemies, some of which might seem equally far-fetched in the context of the current war system. It may be, for instance, that gross pollution of the environment can eventually replace the possibility of mass destruction by nuclear weapons as the principal substitute for war.
Now here's a look into my video files. I've been following Dr. Stephen Greer's work for a long, long time. So TruthStream Media already beat me to the punch, and she put out a video about Stephen Greer. But I'm going to show you a couple of things real quick so you can understand this. Now, the purpose for this video entirely, let me put this on pause for a minute. The purpose for this video, what got me going on this today was this news report. Once again, the mainstream is pushing this meme. Once again, here we go.
Unidentified flying objects.
The Defense Department says it ended the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program in 2012 because of funding issues. But as CBS 4's Tony DeCoppel shows us, one UFO encounter while the program was running was caught on camera.
So look at this thing. It's rotating.
This is one of the incidents the Pentagon's secretive group of UFO hunters investigated.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh.
This object appeared off the California coast in 2004 and baffled two Navy pilots.
It's not a drone. It's not something that we can easily say, oh, that's an airplane. Or
Luis Elizondo ran the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program at the Defense Department. He believes the way that school bus-sized object moved defied the known laws of physics.
What we are looking at is truly beyond next-generation technologies.
Former Nevada Senator Harry Reid championed the UFO program, and some of the funding reportedly went to one of his donors, Robert Bigelow, founder of the military contractor Bigelow Aerospace. The Las Vegas tycoon spoke with 60 Minutes in May.
Do you imagine that in our space travels we will encounter other forms of intelligent life?
You don't have to go anywhere.
You can find it here.
Yeah.
Where exactly?
And he's absolutely right. It is right under people's noses. These guys have been planning this for time immemorial. There's a reason that quote unquote ancient people took all the, imagine the amount of time it would take to carve this. Think about that. You have one solid block of granite or marble or quartz or whatever it is they made these out of. Sometimes they were made out of basalt, which is the hardest material in nature. Imagine you do all of this. Notice the small baby down here, which is probably for a sacrifice, but I don't know. And then the cornucopia, which seems to have a large, weird, creepy foot on it. You carve all of this, and then you screw up on this claw. These were done perfectly every single solitary time, and yet nobody does it today. Do you know what I'm saying? These people were memorializing in stone what it is they were interacting with on Earth. What they're calling today demons and aliens are what everyone else called angels and demons. Do you know what I'm saying? I meant to say UFOs and aliens, but whatever. I digress. How about that? This stuff has been around forever. And this is an old quote that goes back to Aleister Crowley, and it's exactly what I'm saying to you right now. Today they call them angels and demons. Tomorrow they will call them something else. Well, tomorrow is here, and they are absolutely, without a doubt, calling them something else.
You can find it here.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to my files. I've had Stephen Greer on my radar for a long time, and I've spent an awful lot of time researching. Sadly, with the world that we live in today, where every single solitary day, pretty much in a predictable way, you can point out that, I don't know, for instance, there's going to be a staged attack in Texas, and then suddenly in the news, there's people leaving package bombs. You can see that your channel's on Bloomberg and say your channel will probably be down the next day, and then it is. You can tell people they're going to start using weather as a weapon, and right now I am sitting through a blizzard after enduring 2 back-to-back nor'easters, which don't happen in nature, but they happened here. Do you see what I'm saying? The reason most people can predict this stuff, or at least see it coming with a fair amount of predictability, is they've told us their entire plan. Most people just don't want to see it.
You haven't played World of Tanks yet? You're wasting your life. Because in
Dr. Stephen Greer has had the ability to sit down in front of Congress. He's made movies. He's done all these other things. He brings people out. And these are the UFOs. Now, if you notice, there's a common attribute to all the UFOs that these guys sit down and summon, because that's exactly what they do. They sit down, they meditate, and they invite these beings. Well, pretty much anybody can do that. And if you look at these things, they all share one common thing. They're all angels, or they're all masquerading as angels of light, or as Greer puts it, UFOs. Greer brings people out into the middle of the desert and encourages everybody to literally take part in a conjuring ceremony. And that's all they're doing. And that's exactly what they're getting. They're getting the results. They're seeing miracles and wonders in the night sky. Nothing more. They're allowing Greer to be the spokesman for their evil alien invasion. And another person that's a spokesman for this, I can't forget him, is my favorite person, Dr. David Keith. Dr. David Keith and Gordon McKay came out in 2017 and told us that they were going to start spraying the atmosphere to bounce the sun's light back into outer space. And again, the sun's light, outer space, so forth and so on. I don't have any time to go into that, but there's so many things wrong with that. No one's got that. I don't have that much time on my computer, put it that way. Notice the Keith group has their little coat of arms up there, you know, a nod towards the Vatican, because it's all tied together. The Vatican, the Catholic Church, all of that stuff is simply to deceive and lead people down the wrong path. And that's exactly what they've done. But I digress. At any rate, I have spent literal hours and hours and hours of my life videotaping chemtrails, videotaping the skies. It's exactly how I got my start in the quote-unquote truth community, which is just a mere shadow of itself. But again, I digress. They came out in 2017 openly admitting that they were going to start spraying the sky, even though we had been documenting for years them spraying the sky, and then even predicting weather, tornadoes. Dutch Since used to show the video of the radar, and he would tell people there would be a storm or there would be tornadoes. He literally predicted Joplin before it occurred. The reason he's doing that is because he's seeing a cycle. He's seeing what they're doing. When these guys came out in 2017 and said they were going to start spraying the atmosphere to prevent global warming, I told you then, and I'm telling you now, it is going to all be part of the staged alien invasion. They're going to use the stuff in the atmosphere, just like you're looking at right now. Think of this as a giant movie screen. Do you see what I'm saying? The sky's loaded with heavy metals, which are highly reflective, which give you the rainbow effect and makes it look like oil in water. Do you see what I mean? This is a picture from my backyard of the sun. That is the sky. Now imagine them doing this over this. This is at a concert, and this is 3 years old. Look at the technology and look at the atmosphere in this room. You can see through it. It's not cloudy. You know what I mean? It doesn't look anything like this at all. So imagine the effects they can produce on a backdrop like this. They can do this in a room full of people and you cannot see the source. Imagine, and this was just a small look. You know what I mean? They can do amazing things right now. And that's what they're prepping us for. They call in all the experts. They have Stephen Hawking. They have the Lee Clinton Foundation. You know what I'm saying? They have everybody. Stephen Greer, aliens, the Air Force, the military, Bigelow, the Pentagon. This was predicted a long time ago. And it finally appears that they're getting ready. A lot of people, I see this happening with truthers that I used to follow, that preach the word, that tell you the truth. They explain about angels, they explain about demons, they explain about everything. And then they seem to, they have children. They give birth to new life on this earth. How much can you believe in the words you're saying if you're bringing another person into a world that has absolutely no future? Do you know what I'm saying? How did I come to this point? Because these are videos that I took of the sun, moon, and stars a long time ago, and I started to realize that that's not a star, that's not a sun billions of light years away. It's an entity, and it appears to be moving in a fluid. And it turns out an awful lot of other researchers have come to this conclusion as well. For instance, we can pick apart, if they're really in a space station, why all the nonsense? Why all the CGI? In a real world, somebody that was in a contained outer space facility like the space station is claimed to be, this would be no good. You can't even have hair like that in the military, but up in space, none of it makes any sense whatsoever at all. And it appears we're at the end of the road where they're going to start and try to pull this off. Without a doubt. You've been warned. Now, a lot of people, I kind of lost this train of thought earlier. A lot of people have been hearing this for a long time, and it hasn't happened yet, so it's probably never going to happen. Think about the enormity of this entire thing. You have one shot to fool everybody all at once, and that's it. And that's exactly the shoes that they're in. So they're using their doctors, they're using their physics guys, they're using NASA, the military, everyone to prepare people. Not to mention the predictive programming that goes into every movie, every television show. This goes all the way back to the War of the World. After their decision in 1917, as I outlined at the beginning of this video, in 1938, Orson Welles and his colleagues put together a radio show, but they never told anybody that this was a test. What they did is they went on the radio and they told people all over the United States that were sitting next to their radios, because this was the 30s, that we were being invaded by aliens from outer space. And what this was one of the first psyops to see what the reaction of the public would be. And to the guys that were conducting this, it was favorable because people freaked out. Well, think about what they're going to do now, because you watch all these alien movies and you see how they show you in the movies how people would react. They're training you whether you understand it or not. They're using your subconscious. Do you see what I'm saying? At any rate, Richie from Boston, like, share, and subscribe. Share this information because it's coming. 2018 is here. I'm out.
Where to begin? It's 2018. It's here. I'm out. Reminds me of a quote from True Romance, one of my favorite movies. It's Christopher Walken with Dennis Hopper. This amazing scene. And then Christopher Walken goes, "You don't want to show me nothing, but you're telling me everything." Richie from Boston is telling you everything. He's not showing you shit. All right. I took a little bit of quotes because I want to go on a couple of things. The closest thing as far as reasoning he has to that there's going to be a predictor of this fake alien invasion in 2018 is because, quote, according to news, this is coming really soon. That's it. The closest reasoning that I have from watching this again, coming from Richie from Boston, telling us everything, showing us nothing. According to news, this is coming really soon. Therefore, it's going to happen in 2018. Yeah. Fuck this guy. All right. Here's another thing. Let's go. There's a couple of things. I just want to break this down. Patreon.
Trolls, and as a
he says that he's on there because he doesn't want, because it's censorship free. We now know that it's not censorship free. So did Richie from Boston leave Patreon? Well, let's go check his Patreon page, huh? Richie from Boston, still seems like you can become a patron. 432 patrons. Has no idea of how much money he's making, but obviously he's making at least $432 a month. Just so you know, Richie from Boston, Patreon is not censorship free. All right, another thing that I want to show. Let's see. Oh yeah. Did you hear that quote? There's a little bit of a little bit of a slip. I'm not sure if it's a slip. It's a little bit of a hit. He goes, quote, "Truth community, a mere shadow of itself," unquote. That's quote. A little bit of a hit there about the truth community. I'm not part of it. I don't really know who's in the truth community. I have a hint, because a lot of people talk about the truther community, but like, if you're telling the truth, you don't need a community of it. You just listen to the people who tell you the truth. All it takes is one lie, that's it, one fakery. You're no longer someone who tells the truth. Simple as that. You don't need a community of it to set up saying, "Oh, I'm part of the truther community. Obviously, we're telling the truth." No. You never get hit with a lie. You're always telling the truth. You don't need a community telling that there are people who tell you the truth. That's what corporate mainstream media tell you all the time. And they lie all the time. I wouldn't say all the time. Almost all the time. All right. Here's another last thing. Oh, I'm tired of this guy. While he's talking about the truth of community, and I'll replay that back. He says that he left the truth community or something like that. And I need to replay that. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to listen. Because they had children. It's like the end of times are coming, so if you're having children, why would you do that? Here's the thing, Richie. If no one has kids, the end of the world is coming. Because no one's going to be there because no one has kids. You idiot. All right, here we go. Where is that?
Is a picture from my backyard. So which are highly he literally, but again, I digress. They came out on trails, the Vatican, the Catholic, back in. Another person that's a spokesman for this, I can't forget him, is their masquerade.
Gosh,
now,
where was that part?
The reason most people can predict this stuff, or at least see it coming with a fair amount.
Sorry, I have to replay back all this.
Air Force, the military, Bigelow, the follow. And how did I come to this point? Because these are videos that I took of the sun. And it turns out an awful lot of other in a space station is to be moving in a fluid. Military, but up in space, without a doubt. A lot of people have been hearing this for a long, long time, and it hasn't happened yet, so it's probably. So they're using a star. That's not a sun. If you're bringing in other demons, they.
Oh, here. No.
And then facility, military, but up in space, it appears we're at the end of the road where they're going to start and try to pull this off. You know what I'm saying? They have every this technology in water. Do you see what I mean? Think of this, all be part people. There would be a story for how I got my start and how did years away. It's an to be, and it turns star. That's not a sun. Military, but up in space, it doesn't. None of it makes without a doubt time, and it all at once, and that's it. NASA, the military, 17, as over the United States that were sitting, the public would be.
I should have taken.
It is a picture from my backyard of the sun. That is the sky. Now imagine them doing this, seeing a he's seeing.
Sorry, I should have taken a timestamp. I forget where it was. I thought it was.
Has had the ability to sit down in front of Congress. He's made more in some. Pretty much brings people out and it happened here, Bloomberg, and say you're spraying the sky, and then even predicting weather, tornadoes. He said they were going to start spraying the atmosphere, just like, and that's exactly what they've done. A nod towards the Vatican because it's all tied to technology. And look at the atmosphere in this room. You can see through it. It's not cloud backdrop like this. I mean, the Air Force. I mean, and then. If you're bringing in a star, that's not a. These are videos. If you're bringing another person.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's his reasoning.
If you're bringing another person into a world that has absolutely no future, do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. Here we go.
And then they seem to.
All right.
I mean, I see this happening with truthers that I used to follow that preach the word, that tell you the truth. They explain about angels. They explain about demons. They explain about everything. And then they seem to, they have children.
And then they have children. So you hate people who have children because we're not going to have a future. Do you even understand the words coming out of your mouth? Then they have children.
Give birth to new life on this earth. How much can you believe in the words you're saying if you're bringing another person into a world that has absolutely no future?
So no one should have kids. No one should bring new life into this world. This is what Richie from Boston is saying. Because they're bringing a person into the world that has absolutely no future. You know what happens when you don't have kids, you idiot? You dumbass, Richie? Then there is no future. Because there's nobody here. Because no one had kids. You dumbass. Fucking dumbass. Anyways, that's it for tonight's feed. I'm done with this.